Hey, I'm Michelle, and I have the audacity to talk about how leaders don't jump ship. So I'm just get into it. You've probably seen a lot of stuff on YouTube about former Beachbody coaches leaving for other companies, other MLMs, other multi-level marketing companies, other network marketing companies, and the PC term is it's disturbing. The shell term, the real term, is I'm pissed off. And I'm going to tell you why. It ain't because they quitting. People quit every day. People come into things, they quit every day. And for whatever their reasons are, they don't feel like it no more. They not having it. Whatever their reasons are, they quit. But I'm going to tell you what. The reason why I'm pissed off at the people that I'm seeing is for a couple of reasons. These people have built businesses on the backs of other people and have amassed high multiple six-figure incomes. As soon as things got hard, and everybody's got a measure of hard, they rolled out. And don't think that their whole team rolled out with them. There were people that were left behind. So basically, these so-called leaders who preached about the 4 vital behaviors, who preached about, putting in your work, and who talked about, social media strategy and inviting and being a product of the product and recognizing, and preached this day in, day out for years and years and years, and rank advance, because they added people every day and they were doing the work that they needed to do to get this thing done. And they preached that same thing in an effort to duplicate their efforts so that they can make that multiple six-figure income. Soon as things got hard, they jumped ship. And I'm pissed about it. And I'm going to tell you why. Tell you why I'm pissed. I'm going to tell you why I got the audacity to actually talk about this. Because I don't believe that those people that were in this business for the right reason. Now, let me back up a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm going to back up, okay? Because somebody that I truly respect in this business talks about the BS entrepreneur every day. And he talks about how if you don't have a passion, if you don't believe in what it is that you're doing, money is not going to be your motivator. Money is not going to be that thing money is a result of doing this. Money ain't the reason why you do what you do. And if that was the thing that was driving you in the first place, or if you thought you could BS to yourself into thinking that you had some other deeper why, you had a passion, when things get hard, your real reason gonna rear its ugly head. That's what happened to a lot of these so-called leaders. They jump ship, and everybody else, you go out there, you do your own damn thing. It always makes me wonder what it is that you sat down and you said to your people when you was talking about rolling out on their asses. After you probably worked years to get them to join, only for you to turn around and say, oh, I can't do this shit no more. I can't take it no more. This shit too much. All right? But not only that, this is the shameful thing about it. The shameful thing about it is that not only are they going ahead, 9 out of 10 of the ones that I've seen, and I think I have watched 10 of them, and I'm going to tell you how I happened upon these videos on YouTube in a minute. Don't let me forget to get to that point. But 9 out of 10 of these, and that's a real statistic, 9 out of 10 of these will go on to tell you about the new network marketing, multi-level marketing company that they joined, and how different it is from Beachbody, and how much easier it is for you to make money. And it took me a year to make this income with Beachbody, and it took me And it took me a month to make this income with them. Now, okay, y'all, even those who are not entrepreneurs that are hearing, who are within the earshot of this video, who's watching this video, even if you're not an entrepreneur, let's go ahead and exercise some good God-given sense that you got. If I was in a business where I was making multi six-figure income, if I was in a business like that and I had done that for a minute, I clearly gotten good at it. If I was making that kind of income, is it really that surprising that if you put in, let me make it even simpler for you. If I'm a little girl and I'm learning how to ride a bike, and I get on the bike, I fall down sometimes. I get on it again, and I fall down sometimes. And then, you know, my mommy and my daddy say, look here, we're going to put some training wheels on that for you. And then we're going to give you to help you to get your balance. And then, you know, once you're comfortable with that, we're going to go ahead and take it to the next level. And we're going to take off the training wheels. Then you're going to do that. You're going to get on the bike. You're going to get on the training wheels. You're going to be like, oh, okay, hold on. Oh, you know what? If you're like me, when I rode my first bike, the training wheel sometimes had you over on the side like that and kind of kept you stable on that side. And then you figured out slowly but surely when you were riding it long enough that you knew how to keep it steady. And you're like, oh, it doesn't go over to the side. I figured out how to balance this. I figured out how I'm not going like this on my bike. Then your parents were watching you and they knew to take the trainer wheels off. Next thing you knew, you was on there. You were riding a bike. You learned how to balance without relying on the training wheels. You were riding up and down the block. You were learning how to make turns. You were learning how to brake on time. You were learning where to stay out the street. All that kind of stuff. You was on your bike every day. Couldn't nobody tell you nothing. You was on that bike. Wasn't long. You get to be older. You was like, Ma, I want my 10-speed. I don't know what they call it now. I'm showing my age. Look, laugh if you want to. My point is that at some point, after years and years and years of riding a bike and practicing, eventually you got to the point to where not only were you riding your bike every day, but you were learning tricks. You were learning defensive moves. You were doing things to improve not only your stability on the bike and your balance, but your speed and agility and all of that kind of stuff on the bike. By the time you were a teenager, don't talk to me about riding a bike, honey. It's like, you know that saying, when it's like riding a bike, you never forget. Right? Why do you think that would be any different when you're building a business? By the time you learn how to build a business, and you start making money at it, you start making money to the tune of a multiple six-figure income, it ain't nothing for you to go do that again. You have already acquired and perfected the skills to do that very thing somewhere else and do it again and again and again. In that year it took you to make whatever it was, $1,000. You are honing your skill set. I bet the second year, this one particular lady, I bet the second year she was in business, it didn't take her a year to make another $1,000. I'm willing to bet she quadrupled her income. And then the next year, she doubled it again. And then the next year, 10 times that much. And it wasn't long before she replaced her 9-to-5 income with a Beachbody income. It took time, diligence, and skill. Incidentally, those are the exact words of Beachbody's disclaimer when and that we're all required to share when we're sharing the coaching opportunity. Now, I tell you, I have the gall to sit up here and talk shit about star diamonds who left this company. me being an Emerald Coach. For those of you who are not familiar with our ranking system, Emerald Coach is the first rank advancement that you can achieve in the Team Beachbody multi-level marketing binary structure. Okay, so that Star Diamond who quit the other day made all that money and said, I'm out, peace. Okay, who had the put in the effort, had the skill, and the diligence, and exercised the diligence to build that business. Wanted to convince those of us who don't know us that she went over to this other business and she used that as a marketing tactic to try to say, yo, you ain't got to spend 5 years in a business to make this money. You can make this money over here in a month's time. The money I made in a year over here, I can make it over here in a month. Okay, so not only do I find that deplorable, but I find it insulting. And I'll tell you why I find it insulting. Because she might have exercised the skill. She might have honed her skill set. She might have put in the effort and diligence and all of that other kind of stuff and learned some tricks and stuff to share with her team and all of that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, she didn't have the heart for what this business is about. And when shit gets fucked up over there on that side, she won't have the heart to withstand that either. Let me tell you something, because a lot of people get into this business and you can tell like a little bit about them, because this is something that's consistent across the board just by my observation alone. You can tell if they came from struggle or not. You can tell if they done been through. Like they went through some that forced them to be resilient, forced them to overcome. Like giving up wasn't an option. You could tell by people like that. You can tell if those are those kind of people. If there was ever a person, a candidate for quitting this business, it's me. Just putting it out there. I'm the one who should have quit. I'm the one who should have quit. If there was ever somebody, I know that there's people that's going to be listening to this that might actually be coaches that are on my team is like, why is she still here? My God, why is she still here? Because I got something that the ones that quit don't have. I got a belief in what it is that I'm doing. I got a concrete why. Struggle ain't never been a stranger to me. This business is hard work. It's always going to be hard work. This business is rooted in what the conventional wisdom has always been and knows to be true today. If you want to lose weight, you want to get healthy, want to get your mind right, you're going to work for it. All of those things are fabulous things. All of those things are things that all of us should have. But don't nobody deserve a goddamn thing. You deserve what you put in work for. You'll get what it is that you work for. You get what it is that you go after. Don't shit come free. Nothing comes free. And anybody that tries to tell you otherwise is a damn liar running the other direction. I'm only talking about real people right now. So if this ain't you, if this is too much for you, just go ahead and feel free to move on to the next video. Because this is not for the punks that would quit. This is not for punks who want to blame everybody else for their fucking situation. This is for people who are about their damn business. They get it done no matter what it takes, and push anybody and anything out of their way that keep them from getting what it is that they want or need. So this ain't for you if you don't fit into that category. I'm talking to people who know what it is to be out here struggling a little bit, but you ain't got a choice but to go out there and go get what it is that you want. Or you don't have a choice but to go out there and get what it is that you need. That's who I'm talking to. Another thing that pisses me off about this whole thing, about people who've actually realized real success, and when things got a little hard and Beachbody changed their rules about whatever that they changed their rules about, and people started quitting because they was like, oh, fuck y'all. You let their asses go. Y'all want bounce, bounce. Here's what trips me out. You know that they didn't struggle, because I know if that was me, sitting here humble beginnings, and I was making that kind of money, the fact alone that I got to make sure that the tax man get they cut would put me into, okay, let me act like I got some sense. I need to be putting away some of this money, because business is a fluid thing. Shit could happen in the economy tomorrow that's shut my ass down. I got to be able to fall back on something. I can't be sitting here making all this money coming from nothing and make all this money and I ain't putting nothing up. I didn't plan for contingency. I don't got a reserve somewhere. That's some old bullshit. I'm sorry. But it's the only people that really struggle. Like, I'm talking about real struggle. I ain't talking about people who gonna sit up here and talk some shit in my ears about how I wouldn't do that either. I wouldn't be worrying about that either. They probably the same, like I said, they probably the same ones that got tax issues too. Oh. I'm talking about people who really been through, who know what it is to look in a cupboard and see one can of mackerel. What is that shit anyway? Anyway, I know my mother used to cook it up with some rice or something like that. You see one can of mackerel and 7 people need to eat off that. And you like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need to eat tonight. Or you walking around with holes in your sneakers or whatever because, you know, dad didn't get paid yet. And, you know, you supposed to get these little $5 skippies for months now. And you just got to learn. You learned how to sew and shit like that so you can keep it on your feet. So in the winter months when it's minus 10 degrees outside, you could at least have your feet covered. This ain't about the struggle Olympics. What I am saying is you don't come from that, make that money, you ain't got something put up. You don't have that just doesn't happen. And if it does happen, we got to question. Then you start doing the blame game. You have all this money, you ain't do nothing about it. You have made all this money. You went, oh, I bet. Here's the thing. I bet you bragged till the cows came home about how much money, you know, when you were telling your story to incite people to join your team or join your challenge group, I bet you told that story quite a few times. And then you want to sit up here and tell me that you don't, you don't understand how this happened, like it happened overnight. My husband had to come back to work and this, that, and the other thing. You know. You're not finna tell me that. You're not finna convince me of how somebody else did something to you, that somehow Beachbody is responsible for you not, for your inability to recover from a change in the rules or some kind of catastrophe coming attend your business. You're not finna tell me that. I ain't that stupid. I'm sorry. And I'm here to educate people who'll be wondering about this. Well, wait a minute. Why everybody leaving? Because people don't want to follow the rules. That's why. They don't want to follow the rules. Here's the real deal, though. You get into anybody Let me just make it real. Let me just make it real clear right now. You want to have a business for yourself? Everybody want to be an entrepreneur. You know, I don't even call myself an entrepreneur. I run my little business. I do what I got to do. Get my little challenge groups going every month. Here, get a coach here and there. You know, I do my thing. I still work my 9 to 5, and I'm not. I don't find myself to be. I don't. I don't ID myself as an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur out there doing the damn thing. They building businesses like they breathing. I ain't there yet. I'm humble enough to say that I'm not there yet, but I'm learning every day that I'm here. I'm doing what I gotta do. I'm learning. I'm identifying where I need to make improvements. I you know, I engage in my personal development and my professional development. Do what I gotta do. Follow the right people. Follow the right, no bullshit people, not people that are just trying to send sunshine up my ass. Give me the real deal. Make me go inside myself and make sure that this is something that I want to do. But I know that there's something about me that's like, no, Shell gotta have her own. So, because that's just who I am. I know that there's something in my DNA. Shell gotta have her own. It's okay to work 9 to 5 and do what you got to do, but I would always have something else that I was doing on the side. If it wasn't Beachbody, it would be something else. But that's who I am. I just happen to have a passion for people getting a life, and they have it right in front of them. They got it within their body and within their will. And I articulate how to do that. Beachbody happens to have really great products that help people to do that very thing. That's why we in business together. And since Big Daddy got the deep pockets, if he want to change the rules from time to time because he think that's best for the business, and since he writing the check, I'm going to go ahead and be like, sounds good to me. Now, keep in mind, the other thing, I don't think I mentioned this before in the video, but the other thing that really kind of pisses me off about the quitters, 10 out of 10 of them that I've viewed so far, don't look like me. They don't look like me. They don't look like me. And I'm hearing them bitch. And it sounds a little something like this. You know, when I went and I got into Beachbody and that, you know, and I'm being real facetious, so yeah, because I'm a little bit, you know what I'm saying? When I got into Beachbody and that, you know, I was 50 pounds overweight and everything like that, and I bought yada, 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 whatever program, and I tried the Shaco and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? I got some really great results. I did the work. I showed up every day. I cried through some of my workouts. I did the meal planning. I ate right. I drank my Shakeology every day. And I got real results. And then when the coaching opportunity availed itself to me, you know, I went ahead. I jumped on it because I believed in the products. I did. I believed in it. Fast forward to years later or whatever the case may be, I made diamond really quickly, and I had people in my challenge groups every month, and I you know, before I knew it, I was, you know, a 10-star diamond, and I was making multiple 6 figures. Then all of a sudden my income dropped by 10%, 20%, 25%. It wasn't long before it was 50%. My income was cut in half within 6 months. And I just couldn't keep up. And I started having to revisit whether or not I was going to have to go back out to work. By the time you making that kind of money, so that's the story, that's your typical story. By the time you're making that kind of money, you should have some money saved. If you come into this business barely making about $2,000 a month, you manage to replace your salary and then quadruple it. no freaking reason in the world why half of that shit shouldn't be put up. No reason in the world why half of that should not be put up somewhere so that you could recover. You had a responsibility to your family and you had a responsibility to your business to make sure that you had a reserve. No, but what do? What does everybody do? What do most people do? When they've been given an opportunity to be in business for themselves for relatively like no investment. They buy a new car. They buy a new watch. They go buy a house. And they actually have a note on that house. They actually got notes on the car and on the house. Why don't we have notes on the car and the house? What was wrong with the apartment that you had lived in when you were making this money? Why, if you're going to go buy this house, you're not buying it cash? Why not buy a townhouse? Because you done made $500,000 last year. And the year before that, you weren't making no money. So if you making $500,000, why are we not getting a really nice end of group townhouse with half of that money? I'll tell you why. Because these people aren't true business people. They're not true entrepreneurs. A basic business principle is that you would have some kind of reserve funds, restricted funds even, for your business in case some shit pop off that's beyond your control, so that you have something to fall back on. In the corporate world, you would have something like that so that you could pay your employees until we could recover. Or you could, you might have a temporary layoff in place so that you can continue to pay the employees that are still there while you recover. My point is that you have the ability to rebuild again. But you got back into the reason why you got into this in the first place. And it wasn't to help people. It wasn't because you wanted a future for your family. It wasn't because of any of that shit. It was because of the almighty dollar. That's what it was about. And all them fools that quit. That's what they came into this for. When Beachbody decided to change their rules, nope, you can only be with us. You can only be in one MLM. That's it. You can only be with us if you're in an MLM. You can't be in another MLM. They had every right to do that. I'm going to tell you why they did it. And this is what I suspect. This is what I think it was. I think it was there was no real control over, but prior to that, we had a clause in there that said, you can be in another MLM, just can't compete with us. Can't be a competitor. Can't be in another health industry. It can't be in beauty because, we got derm exclusive or whatever the case may be. So it can't be in beauty. It can't be in, health or whatever. But you could be in another one if it doesn't compete with us. So you could be in wine, or you can be in, I guess, house cleaning products or whatever the case may be. There's a bunch of them out there. I don't really be researching them. I just heard this shit through, other means. My point is that we had that before. Well, what had happened, this is what I suspect. This is not what Beachbody has said had happened. But just because I got a brain between these two ears, this is what I suspect happened. I suspect that there wasn't enough active oversight into, and I'm talking about upline coaches, making sure that their coaches are not involved in competing MLMs. There wasn't enough oversight, and Beachbody probably didn't have the resources to really dig into 450,000 coaches that were joining. Okay, to monitor that. Having worked in compliance for another health and wellness company, I know that task, you need a whole department of probably 100 people to just manage that on a very cursory level. So, like I said, again, let me just put that out there. Beachbody did not say this. They didn't put this out there. I am just suggesting this could have been the issue. There wasn't enough oversight in the upline. Downline, Coaches were doing what they wanted to do, you know, like, they might have been involved in wraps or, or juice cleanses or whatever the case may be. Well, Beachbody isn't about that. Beachbody is going in there, doing their damn work, eating right, having a superfood shake, and that's how you're gonna get results. So it's the message for Beachbody is way different than somebody saying, go ahead and put this wrap on. You ain't got to do shit. Eat what the fuck you want. And and you ain't got to do no work. Just put this wrap on for 3 months or whatever the deal is, or drink this juice fast, and you'll lose 30 pounds in a week. Or that's not the message. It's a conflicting message. So you can't properly serve the Beachbody customer without when you have conflicting mindsets, you have conflicting messages. That's the reason why we had the old policy in place in the first place. At least that's what my understanding of it. It makes sense to me. Okay? And then one day they just said, you know what? Since we can't control this, we're just going to have to write the rule. It's not going to be great. We're going to have to brace for impact, but this is what we're going to have to do. Because the upline coaches can't control the downline coaches. And so we're going to have to write this rule in there. And we're going to have to just take it. Whatever happens, happens. And that's it. That's fine. A lot of people rolled out as a result of that. Okay? A lot of people rolled out as a result of that rule. My point is like this. I even heard somebody else say, before I get into what my point is, I heard somebody else say that they actually had a meeting with senior leadership at Beachbody, like top coaches, like, Star Diamond coaches, they had a whole meeting with leadership at Beachbody, and they wanted to get answers as to why their incomes were dropping. Now, again, I'm going to take a moment to just, be sensitive to people who might be watching this who don't understand, the whole network marketing thing, the whole multi-level marketing thing, the whole binary structure and model and all that kind of stuff. If you understand on a cursory level, which is what I'm going to explain here, it'll make sense to you why people just, why people were losing income. Now, with the binary structure that Beachbody has, you got me at the top, got two coaches on each leg. We got a left leg and a right leg. Their volume create income for me. Whoever they sign on is also volume that creates income for me. Also, whoever's at the top of my organization benefits from the volume that occurs in the downline. So the more coaches that my two people add, the more coaches that they add, it creates volume, thus creating income. And I'm just giving you that. I don't want to get into the whole thing. That's a whole video for another day. The point is, if you think about it, if we get this, if I'm telling you that that's the way that income is, that is where your income is being generated from, like the bulk of your income is being, that's not the only way, but the bulk of your income is being generated that way. If coaches quit, if the coaches under you decide to leave, should your income diminish? If this coach that came in was generating income by either customer orders or their own orders, and they're no longer doing that because they're no longer part of your organization, should you not see a reduction in income as a result of that person leaving? That makes sense, right? So why are we at a meeting asking senior leadership to answer questions about your income? You losing income. Why is that not, as a business person who has been around for a while and has amassed a decent business, why do you have to go to them and ask them what's the deal, what's going on? This isn't rocket science. And you don't need to do nothing but go in your back office and see what happened. If I lose $100 a week from my business, it's likely because I lost, I don't know, maybe 5 coaches. That's probably what happened. Okay. It's not rocket science. And you shouldn't be in this business for that long a period of time. When you're in this business for an extended period of time where you have reached such rank advancement that that should tell you, okay, I'm making this. I mean, like, really, like, we're making this income because we brought all these people in, but these people, so we're not making it. What could be the problem? The issue is this: you can go in your back office and find out what the problem is. You can go in your back office and find out what the problem is. The same back office that you would go into to see what your check looked like next week is the same back office as where you could see, okay, my check is going to be, I was used to getting $200 a week. I'm getting $150. What's going on? Probably lost 3 coaches. That's it. 3 coaches canceled. The nature of this business, however, is that people will join and leave. Join and leave. That's why some of the critical behaviors that we train on week after week after week, the critical behaviors that there is extensive training on in your back office is the stuff that we pass down or we duplicate to our downline, which is the reason why you're a star diamond to begin with. Therefore, when it's not being duplicated, it's not so much that it's not being duplicated, but the duplication is a result of growing your organization. If your organization diminishes, if income is generated by duplication, then if your income diminishes, it's because your organization has been reduced. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult to understand that. My point is this, and I've been going on for a while now. My point is this. When you go into business for yourself, there are going to be ups and downs. There's going to be hills and valleys. There's going to be all manner of things that you're going to experience. Lack of confidence in yourself, market changes, so-called saturation, all of that kind of foolishness is going to happen when you're running a business. And my thing is to you, for the people who are thinking about it, don't know nothing about this, at least this kind of business or business in general, let me save you some time. I know you've been hanging out with me for 40 minutes, but let me save you some time. If you don't have a passion around whatever your business is, around whatever your product is, whatever your service is, whatever it is, if your foundation is not your passion for it, do yourself a favor, do your family a favor, do your friends a favor, do everybody a favor, and don't even start. Take your chances with a 9-to-5 job where you get some benefits and the whole 9 yards. Just take your chances with that. That's a nice, safe, environment, and you're going to get your check, and nothing's ever going to happen there, and you're going to be okay. Just do that. Don't embark upon starting a business if you're not willing to put the blood, sweat, tears, holding your belly and bawling at night, wondering if you're going to ever make this happen, all of that other kind of stuff. But more importantly, because even in, what I'm about to tell you is about the work. You gonna work. You gonna work. The reason why I haven't quit is because Beachbody ain't never lied. They ain't never lied since I did my first workout. They ain't never lied. They said this shit gonna be hard. They said you gonna put in work and then you gonna get results. And I can tell you right now, for as long as I have been in this community, the only time I didn't lose weight, I didn't feel fantabulous, I didn't have results in my business is when I did not work. That's the only time. They ain't never, ever, 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 ever lied about that. They said you gonna work. They said. How would they be able to market something like P90X and it be the most successful? One of the most successful programs, one of the hardest ass programs that they ever put out. If they didn't first tell you, boy, girl, put on your big girl panties, put on your big boy drawers, because you getting ready to put in some work. Because they told you up front. They ain't never lie. They didn't try to sell you no damn sunshine up your ass. They told you there was going to be work. How you think? Insanity. Another one of their most successful and most difficult programs they ever put out. Because they went in saying, Sean was saying all through the video, you think you've been, I'm sorry, if you ain't that, look, can I just tell you, you think you worked out before, not till now. That its name alone tells you that it's kind of crazy. But if you get your mind right, you can get this done. You put in the work, you do what you're supposed to do, you follow a meal plan, you have your Shakeology, you're going to get some results. Beachbody ain't never lied about the kind of work that you're going to put in to be successful in your fitness journey and be successful in your business. You're going to put in work like you ain't never put in work before. They ain't never lie, is what I'm saying. And I've been around long enough to tell the tale. Okay? I am in touch with my founding coach. Okay? She got the same attitude like me. The truth of the matter is, I've been around so long. I'm like, but I've like took advantage of the business opportunity, but I ain't been consistent. So if I'm not doing better than I'm doing, then that's on me. If I don't have the kind of organization that I want to have, that's on me. That ain't on nobody. That ain't on Beachbody. That ain't on nobody. That's on Shell. I put away my commission now. I put away my commission now. And I'm not making no sardine kind of money. I put it away now because they could close down Beachbody tomorrow. I still work my 9 to 5 though. They could close that down tomorrow. So what you gonna do? You gotta put away some money in case some foolishness pop off. You gotta have some kind of backup. That's just life. The thing about it is that in life you can almost guarantee that some shit gonna pop off at some point. So the best that you can do to prepare for it is what you should be doing at minimum. At minimum. If it's making your mind strong, if it's making your body strong, if it's making your finances strong, you should be doing it while you can. And that's what disappoints me, that there's other people out here that frankly have a little bit more of an advantage than others. Some of them come in with a skill set or you know, they come in with, you know, I'm going to tell you something else in a minute. But let's just say they come in with certain advantages that allowed them to be successful. And the fact that they would complain and leave is indicative of that advantage and that privilege. So I said it. I said it. And someone also who looks like them and doesn't look like me also said that the other day. So I think I'm okay with saying it. That there are certain people that come in with certain advantages that allow them to be successful and be on a trajectory for success. And to hear that you would make it to that point, thriving, you have a hiccup, that really just kind of tells you what your team was made of anyway. Like, let's be real. Let's just have a moment where we're being real. It just told you what your team was made of. That's all it did, boo. It just told you who you are. You built your shit on sand. That's basically what it said. But if you were real about this business and real about what you actually were in it for, real about, oh, I want a future for my family and I want this and I want that. If I were making $500,000 a year, security for my family dictates that, because that's my why. Security for my family dictates that half of that money put up. I'm gonna live humble. I'm gonna have something put up. I'm not taking a chance that, after all, Sugar Daddy over here, he makes the rules because he's investing the lion's share of the money that allows me to have a business. That's just common sense. And then you sit up here and you shamefully talk your shit on a video and then sit up there trying to recruit somebody to go join your other business where you made up this money at, that you brought all your expertise from the people that put you to work and bring it over here. Because you wouldn't have had that. You wouldn't have had that. You couldn't have went in there without the benefit of the Beachbody experience and go over there and be killing it like you claim you are. Because as soon as something pop off with them, you gonna quit that too. Because you're not feeling what I'm feeling. You don't get it. The one thing that I do hope for, as pissed off as I am, the one thing that I do hope for, those people, those privileged few who were able to take this using their advantage to something tangible, is that they learn their lesson. They learn their lesson about putting up the profits for a rainy day. That is the one thing that I would hope for. That is the one thing that I would advise. Hey, use it as a point of advice. That is the one thing that I think that I would want to advise. That you use the lessons learned. The many lessons learned here to make you truly and honestly thrive in your new venture. But I think that's it. I think that's all I got. I think that's all I got. That's it. That's all I came here for. I just came here to share a little knowledge for those of you who are thinking about business, those of you who are thinking about quitting, whether you're a coach or you work for another MLM, you're a promoter or a distributor or whatever for another MLM. Think about whether or not you got a passion around that product or service before you start it. And maybe you should consider quitting if there's no passion around that. If your only motivation is money, get out now. Because money is fleeting. And money is not going to help you through those hard times. Money is just going to be gone. Money, I assure you, will just be gone during those hard times when you don't want to put in work. Just leave. Just go. Just quit. to speak on and make room for somebody who has a passion around that and can actually build something that is that people want to be a part of. Okay? Do yourself that favor. As for me and my house, I am a proud Team Beachbody coach because I know that what those products and the services that I provide will do for another individual will help them to fundamentally change their life. It will fundamentally help them get their life. But anything worth getting is going to be hard work, and you need to earn that. A great life, a fierce and fabulous life is not given. It's won. Take care.